Good. Smithfield Board of Aldermen meeting is now called to order. Please stand and join me for the pledge. Pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First item on the agenda is the consent agenda. Alderman Atkins,
Thank you, Mayor. I move to approve the consent agenda.
thank you. Do I have a second?
Mayor, I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor of approving the consent agenda, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say no. Motion carries. Ms. Wagner, City Administrator's report.
I do have a few items to update and include for you all. I've asked Chuck to provide you all with an update on our response to the winter weather over the last day and a half. Huh? Yeah. City Administrator's report.
All right, first snow of the season. No school, kids sledding, cars crashing. We didn't have that. Good evening.
Yeah, we did.
So every snow event's different, you know, the timing that it comes, the temperature, the air temperature, what's happened previously. I mean, we were just fairly warm a week ago. We got rain beforehand. You know, we look at all kinds of things. We look at what's expected to accumulate, when it's expected to start, when it's supposed to end. You know, we got to look at our crews. We got to look at our equipment that came after a holiday, so everybody was full and tired. But you know, we take all that stuff into account. Typically, we don't start plowing until we get about 2 inches. Otherwise, we're just scraping pavement to scrape pavement. I mean, these trucks and plows are heavy. This is the first event where we combine public works and streets. We do have a few openings right now, so we were short. And so we grabbed our inspectors and we grabbed utilities department, Dave's crew. And we all got together and we all got out there and did the job. So they started yesterday about 6 a.m. They started with salting. You know, the snow had just started. We went to the hills and the bridges and intersections that we knew we had problems on just to get something down. And then about 10 o'clock, we started plowing. The salt, we didn't get a chance to do any pre-treatment because it rained Saturday and Sunday. So that just washes away. I know the state DOTs did it, and I don't know if it helped any. But with all the rain that we got, it really wouldn't have made much difference. We worked for until 7:30 last night. And they thought it was in pretty good shape. And then obviously today everything's cleared up. You know, the sun helps a lot. Traffic really helps as well. Then today we went ahead and we did a debrief with our staff. We talked about the snow removal processes because we had 3 new truck drivers, and then we had the utilities department doing miscellaneous cleanup and stuff like that. So we talked about snow removal process. We talked about efficiencies and opportunities to refine the coverage areas to make sure everybody was, you know, one group wasn't getting done before another group, and they went out and helped each other a lot. We talked about cul-de-sac clearing procedures, especially for the new group. You know, they hadn't had a lot of experience, and we get a lot of calls and not complaints, but you know, with a lot of the cul-de-sacs, 90% of it's driveway. Where do you put the snow? So, you know, you got to pick the right spot. You can't get in the driveway, can't be in the front of the mailbox. And this time, the interesting thing was, and we didn't think about this until we started talking about it, it was trash day. So not only did we have cars to go around, but everybody had their trash cans out, and we were going around all of those. So that made it a little more difficult too. And we talked about how to make sure we get the snow over to the curb a little better and, you know, minimize those windrows and stuff for people. They also talked about salt. Salt's really not effective if it's below 15. We can throw it out there, it bounces around, gets smashed around until it warms up. So, couple things that we like to remind everybody. You know, if you can, pull your cars out of the street. We did scrape one. It wasn't bad. Nobody was hurt. It was parked. But, you know, we're putting these guys out there on the worst road conditions in the biggest trucks we got. And we say, now go maneuver around every little obstacle and don't hit nothing. and make sure you get it clear, curb to curb. Don't get in front of the mailbox, don't get in front of the drive. There's a lot to do, so we ask a lot of the crews, and I think they've done a pretty good job. On trash days, and we gotta wait and see if GFL is actually coming. If we announce that, pull your trash cans out of the street, it helps. You can get around it better. And then there's just the other thing, we can't be everywhere at the same time. People just gotta remember that. Just because we're not on your street at the time you wanna leave, doesn't mean we're not out there. We're out there and we're working and we're trying, to get everywhere. We do prioritize priority roads, first, your arterials and collectors, before we get into the neighborhoods, bus routes around the schools and stuff like that. And we try and prioritize those first, and then we get into the neighborhoods. I know that doesn't help with you guys getting out of your driveways and stuff, but if you get out of your driveway and down your street, if you can't go nowhere because the main road's not clear, then you're gonna be upset about that. So we are out all the time. We have 110 miles of road to take, and just give us some time. And we do appreciate all the comments, good and bad. We go back out and it helps us on the next time we go out to make sure that we don't have the same issues. So I can stand for any questions.
I had no complaints. You guys, everything I saw looked great.
Gonna say, I thought you did a great job. I have no.
We didn't do none of it. Well, I
Well-
showed a little bit in front of City Hall. But the crews did the work.
They did a great
And I
job.
appreciate
Yeah.
they did.
Yeah, no, and Chuck, and again, just shout out to Anthony and his crew. There's been a night and day difference since he's come aboard. And not that we weren't doing well before, but I can just see it. I did drive around quite a bit yesterday, running my wife to school and back, and she doesn't like driving in this, but job well done.
Thank you.
I do want to highlight, I think Chuck noted that we have new mechanism. I'm not sure, it's parks. I think
Yeah.
you said Public Works and Utilities, Parks, this is the first year.
No,
Uh-uh.
Matt
So
did get a shout
I want
out.
to acknowledge that Parks gets a shout out. This is the first year they've helped. So there are a lot of things that they're managing there. Chuck did allude to the fact that we had 3 new drivers and those are our Parks employees. But that significantly helped. We're learning that process. And Chuck did note, in any snowstorm, I think probably my very first internship when I was in Lexington, Massachusetts, when we had record snowfall, riding on the snowplow with the guys, they're as careful as they can be, but you're always going to hit mailboxes. You're always going to have those issues. But I will stand by, Chuck has instilled in our staff, let us know when you hit something so that we know, so that when the residents call in, we take care of it. Things are going to happen. We apologize for it. We don't intentionally do any of that, but we'll make good on issues because those are just, and particularly like Chuck said, trash, any obstacles in the way just make it harder to maneuver and longer to take. So we appreciate all of the work.
Cynthia, one of the things too, I want to make sure that is recognized as chief and the sergeants and the police. They have an incredibly hard job. Not only do they maneuver through very difficult situations at time, I've seen them out this last storm helping people, and they do care. And so I just want to make sure they get recognition as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And it truly is a team effort. We've got a text group among department directors in a number of departments and, we're getting information from the police department conveyed to the public works department so that they know where problem areas are. And I know supervisors are communicating directly as well. So we're trying to do work as a team to get those roads taken care of. So the process and, hopefully we will not have to put this into effect as many times this winter. I don't know, snow, whatever. I will provide an update that's not included in the report. Gina, we have, she informed me we have 4 positions in various levels of stages of recruitment. We have extended a conditional offer for, and the offer's been accepted. We're just in the background check now for the finance analyst position. We had actually today, I believe it is, they conducted first round interviews for an open park maintenance position. And later this week, we'll have first round interviews for street maintenance position. And then we're working to schedule first round interviews for the new GIS IT tech position. So we are in process. We are continually in process on recruitment on police officers as well. We did have a new recruit graduated the academy. I guess it was 2 weeks ago. He was sworn in a week ago Monday.
Yep.
Is that correct? So continuing in those efforts. The Direction Finder Citizen Satisfaction Survey, we got word from ETC Institute that we have so far reached 396 responses, which is well over their targeted completed surveys for a statistically valid sample. So beginning next week, they will start the analysis of the results. Tomorrow, we will post to social media that if people have one last push, one last chance to get responses mailed or the survey completed online and submitted. After next Wednesday, we will not take any more. We have enough by more than 100 at this point, well, 100 at this point for statistical significance. We want to take everybody's opinion into consideration, but we've got to shut it off at some point so they can start that analysis. So we'll provide that information on social media tomorrow. Really excited. 396 is a great result. And Gina and I were talking, we just posted it a couple weeks ago. So this is a very quick turnaround. So I appreciate public's input on that. And then we'll just note, reminder of the upcoming holiday schedule. December 26th and January 2nd will be closed in addition to the holidays of the 25th and January 1st. And then starting to look ahead at the 26th calendar, we have a number of MML conferences that conflict with board meeting dates. So in consultation with the mayor, we have canceled the February 17th meeting as well as the September 15th and November 3rd meetings. The November 3rd meeting is in observance of the election. We typically haven't met on election night. I will note that the September 15th meeting, we will probably need a second meeting sometime later in that month anyway to set the tax rate. So that works well for us. We'll just move that meeting date.
Because next year's a reassessment year, right?
Yes. Yeah, so it could take longer. We may be looking at a meeting. We may have information and post it a couple days before a meeting to get in right before the deadline of the end of that month. But we will, as we move through the budget process and all of that information, we'll keep the board appraised of that timeline as well. That is my report, Mayor, and stand for any questions.
Thank you. Any questions for Cynthia? Next item is number 5. Alderman Atkins.
Thank you, Mayor. I move to approve Bill number 3089-25, final plat, Richardson Street Plaza, second reading.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Mayor will second.
Any discussion? Clerk, please call roll.
Alderman Stone,
Aye.
Alderman Wilson,
Aye.
Alderman Dana,
Aye.
Alderman Hartman,
Aye.
Alderman Atkins,
Aye.
Alderman Kibelski,
Aye.
6-0.
Motion carries. Ms. Wagner, please read the bill.
An ordinance approving the final plat for Richardson Street Plaza located in the city of Smithville, Missouri.
Next item is number 6, Alderman Atkins.
Thank you, Mayor. I move to approve Bill number 3090-25, rezoning and plat approval, 13616 North Virginia Avenue for our second reading.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Mayor will second.
Any discussion? Clerk, please call roll.
Alderman Kibelski,
Aye.
Alderman Hartman,
Aye.
Alderman Wilson,
Aye.
Alderman Stone,
Aye.
Alderman Atkins,
Aye.
Alderman Dana,
Aye.
6-0.
Motion carries. Ms. Wagner, please read the bill.
An ordinance changing the zoning classifications or districts of certain lands located in the city of Smithville, Missouri, and approving a plat entitled Olmholtz Homestead. Easy
Thank
for me to say.
There you go. Next item, number 7, Alderman Atkins.
Thank you, Mayor. I move to approve Resolution 1531, turbidity meters purchase.
Do I have a second?
Mayor will second.
Any discussion? All those in favor of approving Resolution 1531, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say no. Motion carries. No public comment? No, any new business? Go for
I
it.
do.
Go for
Okay,
it.
so I apologize in advance. I don't really know how to properly say this, but I did have a couple of individuals reach out that have businesses downtown that did request, well, asked if we would bring it to, I guess, a new item for the agenda in the future to talk about downtown parking. And so I said that I would bring it to everybody to see if you guys would want to discuss it. I thought it would be great since two of you have businesses. I would love to hear how you guys feel about it, but again, I don't know what that process really looks
What
like.
specifically do you want to discuss on downtown parking?
They mentioned
Requested
signage.
signs, like 30-minute
Yeah.
parking or 2-hour parking. I can't remember what it said, but.
And I know we just had a great topic on signage.
So I would say with that, that sounds good in theory, but who's gonna monitor it? Who's gonna watch? You know, I'm not gonna have the police start
Marking tires?
marking tires, you know, so how would you,
I don't,
what's your thought on doing that?
I think if
Or
we're gonna
something.
do.
Anyway, so anyway, that could
If
be-
if multiple people want to put it on the agenda, we can put it on the agenda, but, is there a second that wants to put that on the agenda for a future work session?
I would like to second it.
Okay. Any other new business? Cynthia, we put that on the bottom of the planning calendar. And will you reach out to Main Street, or Gina, can you reach out to Main Street and ask them for bringing forward recommendations on how they'll enforce it and who's gonna pay for signage? So I see a lot of employees and business owners parking and taking up their own spots and then complaining that there's no place to park, so I saw it today. They want to park in front of their own and complain that somebody else is parking there. So I'd like to see recommendations, enforcement, and who's going to pay for it. So, all right, with that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn regular session.
Thank you. To have a second.
Second.
All those in favor of adjourning, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say no. Stand adjourned.
I was gonna